guys, welcome back to another video. So the other day I was looking over hollow point and armor piercing because they recently changed the way they work. So now armor piercing reduces your damage but gives you a torso multiplier, while hollow point does the exact opposite, giving you more damage but reducing your torso multiplier. Now the multiplier on hollow point to torso multiplier is actually below 1. It's like 0.85 or something on the gun I was looking at, which means it actually lowers your damage to a point below the base damage, or just below, or just at the base damage, while armor piercing's torso multiplier makes it do under the base damage. So then I was like, I don't want to use these because they suck damage-wise, so I was like, what else is there? And then I realized there's one conversion kit on 2 guns that I have it on that weren't touched by this update. And I was looking and I realized it's 300 Blackout. It doesn't have the weird changes that are done to it with this update. So I think this could be something very, very, very interesting. Before we dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe and like if you do enjoy the video. We are approaching 1,000 subs, and as I said, when we hit 1,000 subs, I will do a stream in an anti-cosplay. So if you guys want to see that, subscribe and like. So to start off this little exploration of 300 Blackout, we're going to take a look at the HK416, that's one of the guns I have 300 Blackout on. Now, if you look at it, it does 34 damage to 55 studs, dropping down to 19 damage at 140 studs. And it also lowers your fire rate, but because I put the muzzle booster on, I get 810 fire rate, which is very respectable fire rate for 34 damage out to 55 studs. Now, it doesn't change your multipliers. It standard 1.0 torso and 1.4 headshot multiplier, but I still think it's still good. Now, you could argue that you could just use a honey badger at this point because it's integrally suppressed, so you have a suppressor built in. It has a higher fire rate, same amount of recoil, and the setup I'm using is basically just a honey badger. It has the same iron sights, the same setup that I used on the honey badger. But I think the HK416 is better because the damage ranges are better, and also it has better recoil, and this can beam out to 55 studs with little to change recoil. Also, it has a cooler sound. So another gun I have 300 Blackout on is the MG36. When you have 300 Blackout on the MG36, it changes the name to the MT36, which I don't know what MT stands for. I'm assuming machine turret, because this thing has next to no recoil, 100 rounds in the magazine, 34 damage, and 750 RPM, and like no recoil. It's so dumb. Back before they changed 300 Blackout on the MG36, I used to run skeleton grip and retract stock because it had no recoil, and you zoomed around the map with a 100 round mag. Now, I do know before, like quite a long ago, that 300 Blackout used to give you a 50 round mag. Now it gives you a full 100 round, which is crazy. So let's take a look at the damage ranges. So it does 34 damage out to 45 studs, which isn't as good as the HK416. But if I had to say, the MT36 has superior recoil to the HK416, 100%. I noticed when I was playing on height, I could beam people all the way across the map. It also has way better hip fire than the HK416. I noticed a lot of times I found myself hip firing and it just beamed. And it just shredded. 34 damage at 750 rounds per minute is pretty good, especially since it's not even using the muzzle booster. So overall, I think 300 Blackout is a much superior attachment choice to hollow point and armor piercing. Now, armor piercing you can kind of get away with using because it does give you that extra penetration, but they also nerfed the penetration on a bunch of guns, so it's really not worth using. 300 Blackout, I think, reduces your penetration by a little bit because it's a fatter bullet compared to the 5.56 cartridge, but it's really worth using because you just get that damage, and on the MG36 you don't even get the nerf to the fire rate, so you can boost that fire rate to 775 or whatever it goes to with the muzzle booster. If you guys did enjoy, like, subscribe, do all that, you know the drill. Join Discord, link below, check out my second channel, check out my mountain bike channel, check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram, check out all that. Anyway, peace.